Hello, Stacy here with Siouxland Magazine. Hope all of you out there have had a wonderful day so far and are now ready to just sit down, get cozy, and tune in and enjoy this small business spotlight. I absolutely love Monday nights and doing these. You know, I try to be pretty plugged into this community and out there. But every so often, I hear of a small business that I haven't heard of before. And it just gets me so excited because usually those small businesses are ones that are just driven with passion. And like their products, their services are just top notch. And so tonight, I am really excited to have joining me, Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
It looks like really good. I love it. So Nikki is with Jefferson Beer Supply, and you might not have heard about it because, well, it's still up and coming. They're kind of in a fundraising state, but there are things already available out there, right? Yep. So we're going to dig all into this tonight. Really excited. I'll be really honest, I have not always been a beer drinker, but I've noticed that since all of these new breweries are coming up and they've got these really amazing, unique, just what would you say? They're like ciders and like all these different things. Like I'm really gravitating towards these craft beers and ciders.
When they tell me they don't like beer, I just think they probably just haven't tried the right beer yet.
Well, that just sums it up. Exactly. So I have completely converted and I love it. And I love the fact this isn't something that is done far away and packaged and shipped here, that this is local. Love local. So let's talk a little bit about this, Nikki, about the whole concept. It's more than just craft beer. It's also sausage. You've blended these things, which I love because not actually blended them. You've combined them, which I love because I like to eat when I drink. And I think a lot of people do. So let's start a little bit and talk about the whole concept, how this came to be and the two partnerships of those things.
The main thing is my name's Nikki and I brew beer. And the way I got into brewing beer was a lot through food, without getting too far into how beer's made, which we could if we want to talk about it. But there's so much correlation between beer and cooking. For example, like the malt that you make beer out of is barley that's been basically cooked or malted, and the barley gets caramelized or roasted or kilned. And when I started to think about malt like that, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. I've been caramelizing onions for how many years? And, I know what roasted means and how that tastes. And so for me, a lot of my ideas for recipes or styles of beer I want to make totally are rooted in food and different flavors and different experiences that I've had with food that are really memorable. And honestly, one of my true loves in life is just having like the perfect beer with the perfect food and pairing them and having them go together. So that's a huge part of where the sausages come in. We're just going to be a small brewery in Jefferson, South Dakota, and my partner is a butcher. He's been a butcher professionally for the last about like 6 or so years, I think. Mm-hmm. And he did a butcher apprenticeship in Milwaukee, and in Milwaukee, sausages are huge. Yeah. So we got a lot of fun ideas for kind of like foodie-centric sausage. So like one we're calling Brenner, like breakfast for dinner, that has maple and blueberries in it. Or he has another idea for like a cup of ramen sausage that has the little baby shrimp from the little ramen noodle packets in it. So we just have a lot of fun ideas where the beers and the sausages play off each other.
Yeah, and so you mentioned that Anthony has that experience from back in Milwaukee and doing that, but you've also got some really cool, unique experience. So you spent some time in Germany.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was through this organization called the Pink Boot Society, which is a professional organization for women in the brewing industry. And I can't say enough good things about the organization. There's chapters all over the country. There's chapters in Iowa and in South Dakota, and all over the world. And so myself and a bunch of other women in the industry, both brewers and non-brewers, from all over the United States, also from Canada and Mexico and Peru, we went to Germany, and for 2 weeks, all we did all day was go to brewery. That's actually, going to Germany is where I learned how to drink in the morning. But it was great. We thought everything. We visited one of the oldest breweries in the world, Weinstefan. We also visited tons of family-run breweries that have been in the family. Like I think we went somewhere and they were like, "Oh, we've only been around 100 years," because in Germany that's like not a very old brewery, and here, like, if you've been around for 10 years, that's brewery. So I learned so much. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Nikki, so you and Anthony now have come up with this concept. You're starting Jefferson Beer Supply in Jefferson, obviously, which is just 5 miles further than North Sioux. So it's really not far for those. I would assume everybody knows, but you never know. So it's not far from here, from the Siouxland area. And why? I mean, I know you're in Jefferson, but why Jefferson? Like, you could live there and easily drive into Sioux City, or if you go somewhere else. I think it's important for people to know why you chose to place that in Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, first off, because there's huge opportunity. I think a lot of parts of the country are seeing this now. These smaller rural areas are where the blue sky is, or where the opportunities are for people to live like happy lives. But besides that, we love Jefferson. My partner Anthony grew up here. His mom has lived here for forever. She's from North Sioux. Then she moved to Jefferson. Big trip. But she's also the city finance officer. She drives the school bus here. She's a volunteer EMT coordinator. She runs the festivals in town. And I've been coming here for the last 12 years since I've been with my partner. And it's just an amazing place to be. And also, like, traveling the country and seeing breweries in other countries, it's amazing what an impact beer can have on a space. We really want this to be a family-oriented space. And while beer is the thing that I would love to focus on, it's not just about beer. It's about having a space for the community to come together, to do family trivia nights, to just have a place to be and to celebrate where we are and who we are. So.
Yeah, and there's a link on here that I'm sharing with all of you that you can watch that you guys put together. It's a really fun video that kind of showcases everything. And you mentioned, like, so to get a little bit more specific, yes, you're in Jefferson, but like the ballpark behind you, like the space. You started to tap into this, but to just really kind of drive that home, like, you do have the big blue skies and that freedom of space, and people could be out on walks and stop by and have a drink, grab something to eat. The ballpark's behind you. Like, there is a huge sense of community, and I love that.
Yeah. We our building that we're working through renovations and getting all our ducks in a row right now, it has a huge patio in the front. It has a little patio in the back that butts right up to the park. And one of the things, I spend a lot of time in Colorado brewing too, and I love the mountains there, but I also love being here and just seeing, like, the big open space. And from our patio, you can see for such a long way, you can all the way see the Luss Hills in the background. And these are the type of things we love. My family and I, we love being outside. We love plants. We love gardening. We love eating. And beer is kind of like the perfect thing to bring all that together, along with our neighbors. So I think it's going to be the best of everything.
We got a lot in common. I would agree with all those things. So can't wait for you guys to be open and be able to come and have a beer and food and be outdoors. Sounds fabulous. So to make that happen, you guys are right now in a fundraising state right now. So let's talk a little about that, because you've got some really cool opportunities for people. And it's not your typical fundraising. So let's talk, if we can, a little bit about that, Nikki.
I'll just talk really briefly about, like, the easier stuff. Like, we got some merch. So we got, like, this is our American lager in a glass, and this is Muggins. I don't know if you can see him. That's what we call him. I've got here. This might be better. He's a glass of beer holding a sausage. Well, our glass of beer holding a sausage. But so
I love that design.
Yeah, we got a couple glasses. We have this other nice glass that's really good for sours and IPAs. It's also good for wine if you're wanting something else. We got this little hat too that has our cool vintage. That's like the top of a vintage beer can. The pull tab of it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Then we got our fun little Cyclops logo where we turn the beer tab into a Cyclops. So we got a t-shirt of that. But besides selling the merch, the really fun thing that I'm excited about is our Indiegogo campaign, which is our fundraising campaign online. And we have a couple perks with that, where you donate money to us and then kind of have some interesting things to give you in return. So,
yeah. So real quick, I'm going to go in a little bit more detail of these things, but of course, small business spotlights, or Monday night small business spotlights, we like to do weekly giveaways. And Nikki is so generously giving a little package of things away. So all you have to do is so easy. Just comment below, anything at all. Just put a comment in there, and then in about a week, we will look through all of those and pull all those names, and then Nikki will draw somebody, and you will have that gift. So I love your merchandise. Like, it is, I don't know who created it, but it's really unique, really creative. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah, actually, Anthony and I met in art school, and so we both love design. And a good buddy of ours is helping us do a lot of this design. And so the cool thing, like, I've been brewing professionally for a long time, but I had a couple different careers before I became a brewer. And the fun thing about opening this brewery is it feels like all of our skills that we've been gathering our whole lives are we get to use them all now.
So you're a multi-potentialite.
Yeah.
I had a good friend of mine share it. I'm a TED Talk junkie, and she shared a TED Talk here recently with me about being a multi-potentialite. She goes, "This is us." And, we're those people that, like, we love to learn, and we find so many things interesting. And, we're all told from such a young age, what do you want to be? Well, not told the rest. What do you want to be? And then we're told, focus. But I really love people like you, Nikki, who you have lots of different passions. You've dove into those. And then, like you said, you're able to pull all these things together, and then you're the one that creates, right? You create things. Like, there's so much innovation and entrepreneurship that comes, I think, from those multi-potentialites. I always love meeting people like this, like you. I love it. Okay, so fundraising things. I saw you had mentioned to me you're doing something with Rhubarb crisp dessert, sausage pairing for a preview party, Brewer for a day. Let's go into each of these. And you totally had me at Rhubarb crisp dessert because, I love rhubarb.
So again, the whole brewery, the whole concept of it is focused on the history of our town, the history of South Dakota, the history of the Siouxland area, and our local ingredients and our local people. We just love the stories and the people here, and we want our whole brand to just focus on that. And so one of the ways that a lot of those come together is this beer right here. It's our Rhubarb crisp pastry sour. It's made with vanilla and local rhubarb that we grow in our backyard. We want to have a festival every year that celebrates rhubarb, where everyone can, like, bring their biggest leaf that they grew, and as a community brew a rhubarb beer together. But so one of the perks that we're giving away for our fundraising is Michaeline, my mother-in-law, makes this amazing rhubarb crisp dessert. That's what this beer is inspired by. And so for $50, donate to our campaign, she will hand make you a rhubarb crisp dessert. And we were jokingly saying that she should deliver it on our school bus. She said she couldn't do that, but she would yell at you and tell you to sit down. Bring that experience to you too, just for
I love it. Well, I'm definitely doing that one because I love rhubarb. So that is it for me. Okay, sausage pairing, the preview party. Let's talk about that one.
It's pretty self-explanatory. We're, the brewery, there's a ton of work to be done, a ton of renovations in the building. We have to get all our tanks in, our floors, our drains. So it really is really exciting to see it all come together. So we're just going to have a little preview party before we open. We'll get some sausage pairing set up for you, and we'll do a tour of the brewery, the new space, how the beer's made, and and just kind of have a fun way to celebrate before it gets really crowded for the opening.
Mm-hmm. And what do they have to donate to do that?
Yeah, it's $100 a ticket on our Indiegogo campaign.
Gotcha.
And we'll just, yeah.
Yeah. And again, we've got that link on here for all of you guys. And then we've got the brewer for the day. This is so cool. Let's talk about it.
One of the things that, like when you were talking about the multi-potentialite, I think I said that right.
Yep.
That's totally why beer has been so engaging for me for so long. You know, there's the chemistry of it. There's the history of it. There's so many cool, interesting history stories of beer. There's all the biology of it. There's the logistics of making it happen. I'm totally like a process person. Like I like to think about like, this has to happen first before this. And then the creative side, the storytelling side. And so one of my favorite things to do is brew with people so that I can like tell them about all these things. And then they tell me like, oh, well, if I know this about biology, then you learn together and you do things together. And so this Brewer for a Day perk, it's $500 for you to plan a beer with me ahead of time, you know, whatever style you want to make. We can work on a recipe together. And people think like, I don't know how to write a beer recipe, but like, actually, if you're like, oh, well, do you like this? Oh, do you like that? Before you know it, together, we're both contributing to how a recipe could come together. And then come with me, come brew with me with a couple of your friends, and we'll brew a beer. And then it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to ferment, depending on the style. And then you have a keg of beer to go home with you. So it's really great and then, you know, the rest of your beer will be on tap in our space for a while. So it's especially fun if you have something special coming up, like a wedding, bachelor party or a bachelorette party. You know, you could have the group come brew together with me, and then you'll have the keg of your special beer for whatever your event is. You know, or if you just want to spend some time with your family, like you want to do something to celebrate Father's Day or a special birthday, it's just a fun experience. And I really love brewing with other people and showing them how it works.
That's awesome. So immediately my mind went, I love that. See, the whole idea of like the wedding party, like I think that's brilliant. Anytime you can come up with an idea to, you know, where people are bringing, you know, people are coming together. Boy, I'm not finding my words. You'd think I'm drinking here and I'm not. Darn it. But my mind right away went to, oh, okay, every time there's a wedding, I go to a wedding. Then we go and we sit and we wait. We have a drink because the whole bridal party is driving around in a bus somewhere having drinks. And I'm like, how cool would it be to make that beer? You need to get this bus thing incorporated in here, I still think. They create the beer, they've got all the beer, and then they take that beer on their bus and they drive around on that bus before they come and celebrate with everybody.
Some laws about that.
Yeah. Awesome. But that is such a cool idea. I love it. Brewer for the Day. So again, that link is on here, guys. So all you have to do is click the link and it gives you these different options where you can just jump in and you can support Nikki and Anthony in this venture. And I can't wait. So what are you thinking timeline before things are open? I know it's kind of hard to know for sure.
Like I said, it's really a very involved process. It's not just like we unlock our doors and it's done. So I'm a little bit hesitant to say a firm timeline, but in my fantasy world, we will be open in the summer. So,
and obviously, people supporting you will help that come along a lot faster. So, awesome. All right, Nikki, was there anything else that you wanted to share with everyone before we wrap up today?
No, we're just really excited to connect with everyone and share more about what we're doing because it's so interesting and it's such a community. We need the community support behind us. You know, it's really a community supported endeavor. So, I love beer. Beer's cool.
Love it. Well, thank you, Nikki, for following your passion and for joining me tonight, and best of luck. And for all of you out there, again, if you can click their links, support them. Let's help get this here to Jefferson so that we can all enjoy a little food and drink. It would be fantastic. And if you happen to be a small business owner and you would like to jump on here with me and do a small business spotlight just like Nikki did, It's really easy. All you have to do is go to siouxlandmagazine.com, and right at the bottom of the page is my contact information. So just reach out and I will love to get you scheduled. It's just such a fun way to like I said, we all come together, this little time and space. We get to find out about new businesses or small businesses that maybe been around a while, but you might not have heard of yet, and just find out about them, support them. Can't encourage you enough to support them in multiple ways. So yes, we want to, like in Nikki's case, a little different. We want to do some fundraising. The ones that are open, we want to shop with them, shop local. But it's also things like liking their Facebook page or sharing these videos. We're trying to help them have greater reach and get in front of as many people as possible. Every little bit really helps. So appreciate anything that you could do. Again, remember, shop small, shop local. Appreciate all of you. Have a great night.